Hello, my name is Betsy Valdez, and my partner here is Alex, and our presentation is on Rose of Sharon, which is part of the Hibiscus syriacus family.
Starting off with the history of Rose of Sharon, the name is considered to be biblical and is known to be a flowering shrub native to Southeast Europe and Southwest Asia. It is the national flower of Korea. Carolus Linnaeus classified it in the 18th century based on a herbarium specimen from Syria. Hibiscus tea throughout history until the present has been a preferred beverage in many cultures including China, Mexico, the Caribbean, and even Europe.
Hibiscus was a preferred beverage by the pharaohs of the ancient Nile Valley when they wanted to refresh themselves in the desert heat. All over the world, people drink hibiscus tea for health because it can lower blood pressure. Hibiscus is a refrigerant that helps cool the body. It is a relaxing refreshment since it does not contain caffeine. Enjoyment is another reason people drink it. Hibiscus is a beautiful, rich, crimson color and is tart and delicious.
So now we are going to talk about the economic value of hibiscus. Crop cultivation of hibiscus is a major industry in several tropical countries and it further contributes to the national wealth. Thailand, India, and Bangladesh are the leading producers today, representing roughly 90% of the jute production industry. In Sudan, however, the flower is also listed among the top 10 foremost crops annually grown, with dried flowers generating just over 14 million US dollars in 2012 alone. Demand has steadily increased for hibiscus over the past decades. Currently, approximately 15,000 metric tons enter international trade each year. Caribbean nations such as Cuba and the U.S. Virgin Islands also benefit from its export.
As for propagation techniques, hibiscus, both hardy and tropical, are propagated from cuttings. The cuttings should be taken from new growth or softwood, which are immature branches on the Rose of Sharon. The cuttings should be done in the summer. Alternate cuttings in compost and water are required. They should be 4 to 6 inches long, placed in well-drained soil, 50 to 60 mix of potting soil and perlite.
We will now discuss media. The required soil to grow hibiscus is a combination of 5% perlite, 50% peat, and 45% composted hardwood bark. Cocoa coir has been a recent replacement for peat to grow Rose of Sharon in. We will now talk about the fertilization program. Fertilize light but often with a water-soluble hibiscus fertilizer. Over-fertilizing can also promote foliage growth at the expense of flowers. Prune in late winter or very early spring if you want to control the size of your plants.
For the irrigation schedule, we found that in cooler months, water only when the plant is dry. Water early in the day since this gives the plant time to dry out a bit before temperatures cool at night. Drip irrigation is common in nurseries and usually watered every 2 to 3 days. A newly planted tree will be fine with 5 to 10 gallons of water a week. As to the temperature, Rose of Sharon can tolerate winter cold from 40 degrees Fahrenheit. It prefers full sun and heat and tolerates some drought. If in a hot area, afternoon shade may be a benefit. Protected by winter cold by adding mulch.
The plant growth regulator that is used in Rose of Sharon is Psychocell. Psychocell treated plants are smaller and more compact. This treatment is usually used to get 12-inch plants to flower. It also makes vigorous plants less sprawly and easier to grow. Since plants must be small and flowering to move off the shelf, the public, not the grower, dictates the use of Psychocell. Now we're going to talk about the light. All types of hibiscus do the best in full sun. Give your hibiscus at least 6 hours of sun per day. In areas with very hot summers and bright, strong sunlight, you may need to provide shade for the hibiscus during the hottest part of the day. If growing indoors, put your hibiscus in front of the sunny south-facing window for adequate light. Use supplemental lighting if no direct light comes through your windows.
Time to finish crop. For cuttings of 6 to 6.5 inches, use 1 or 2 cuttings. Crop time is 15 to 17 weeks with 2 pinches. For 7 to 8.5 inches, use 3 cuttings, 2 to 3 pinches. The crop time is from 16 to 18 weeks. For 10-inch pots, use 4 cuttings and 3 pinches. Crop time is 19 to 22 weeks. Lastly, for 12 to 16-inch pots, use 5 cuttings and 4 to 5 inches. The crop time is 22 to 28 weeks.
The average cost of production of Rose of Sharon seed is $3 to $4. Cost per tree runs anywhere between $12 to $60. From February 10th through the following year, February 16th, there have been major demands on the hibiscus in the coastal areas, and the sale prices have drastically increased throughout the years.
The insects found in Rose of Sharon are thrips, spider mites, whiteflies, aphids, mealybugs, and fungus gnats. For thrips, the buds are discolored and fall off. For spider mites, there are molted yellow leaves. For whiteflies, there is a white mess on leaves or white-colored flies near the plant. As for aphids, they are black, white, or green and are visible bugs on the plant. Mealybugs are bright white, small, cottony spots on leaves. And lastly, fungus gnats, which are small dark bugs flying around the plant.
Some diseases that have affected Rose of Sharon are wilt disease, dieback disease, and leaf fungus. Wilt disease is when all the leaves on the plant are wilted. Dieback disease is when the leaves are wilted in one branch only. Lastly, leaf fungus is when there are black spots on the Rose of Sharon leaves.
Lastly, we have marketing strategies. The demand for hibiscus has steadily increased over the past decades. Approximately 15,000 metric tons of dried hibiscus enter international trade each year. Hibiscus' attractive red color, refreshingness, and associated health benefits have drawn the interest of several entrepreneurs to start a business of manufacturing hibiscus-based beverages. Determining flavor and sweetness and acidity balance preferences of consumers in the development of a hibiscus beverage. Determining flavor, sweetness, and acidity balance preferences of consumers in the development of a hibiscus beverage is important for possible market consumption patterns for hibiscus production.
To finish our presentation on Rose of Sharon, our references are listed here. Thank you.